Hello everyone, greetings from Technical Cloud Knowledge and this side Shikha with another lecture on Linux. So this is the lecture number 11 and this one is the lecture part 1 of our lecture number 11. So let me tell you, today I'm gonna talk over history command in more detail. So let me talk about the topics which I'm going to cover today. Basically, I'm going to cover today what is history command and why do we use history command, what is the basic commands needed in the history command and some other useful things we can do with the history command. So these things which I'm gonna talk about today, for that you need to make sure that you will watch my video until the end so that in order to avoid missing any necessary point regarding the history command. So let's begin the lecture first. Okay. First, my question is that for you guys, that what is history? We all know that since childhood history referred to the past. Okay, we all know that history means past. And if we talk about why do we learn history, we learn history to study the past events. It is similarly goes with the history command too. The history events refers to the past events. Similarly, history command refers to the past commands. Basically, we use history command to view the previously executed commands. If I talk about in short, the history command is used to show the past commands which you have executed on your terminal. And one more thing, be remember that it will also allow a user to use the any listed commands without retyping it. So let's understand it by writing it there. Basically, the history command is used to show the previously executed commands. Okay. So let's understand it in a better way through the practical. So for that you need to open your VMware workstation and here just need to open the terminal. So my question is that how does history command work? The basic usage of history command is very simple. You just need to execute the history command and it will provide you the output. Okay. So for that, let's run some commands to check the history. Okay. For that, if we would run, suppose I'm running some commands. pwd ls cd argument etc cd and then date time date ctl. And that's how we will run these commands. Now, if I want to check the history, like what are the commands I have executed on my terminal, for that I'm just executing the command history. So as you can see, all these are labeled with some numbers followed by the commands which you have executed on the terminal. That's how the history command will work. Okay, it will show the output. It will give you the output by the commands which you have run on your terminal. Now, if I want to check the command what I have run on that specific number, for that I'm going to use the command exclamatory along with that number. Suppose if I want to check what was the command I have run on number 4. For that we will run this type of command. We have to use the option exclamatory along with that specific number. As you can see, so on number 4, I have run the cd command. That's how we will use this command. That's how we will use the option in history command. Now, if I would run this command, what would happen? History along with grep and then the command cd. So as you can see, it will provide me the output like how many times I have run cd command in my history. So it will provide me the list of cd command like that much time I have used the cd command in my history. Basically, the history along with grep and the command which you want to check, it will provide you the command. It will provide you the output, or it will print out the output that how many times you have run the specific command. If anywhere the command has been shown in your history, it will provide you the list of that specific command. So that's how we will use this command in the history. So now, if I want to check how to make our history display date and time. Suppose I want that my terminal, the command which I have run, it will also tell me what was the date and time when I have run these commands. For that, we need to use the option hist time format along with under the inverted commas. So this is the format. It is an easy format. That's how you can check when was your commands have been run. Your like what was its date, time, and year. So that's how you will run this command. So if we would run the history, it will show us the output of such type. Like it will show us like what was the year when we have run this command. What was the time? What was the second, minutes, and etc. Okay. So that's how you will do so. Now, my next question is that suppose if I would run such commands, like I am running many commands. I am running the pwd commands. I have run it many times. As you can see, I have run this around 5 times. Now, I don't want that the pwd command will show in my history 5 times. I want that it will only show at once. For that, what kind of command would I run? Basically, if you want to avoid the dubs, if you want to ignore the dubs, for that you need to run the command ignore dubs. Okay, if you want that, so if you want that your history will not include the duplicate entries, for that you will run the command ignore dubs. Basically what happened, if we want to like do such kind of setting, there it will happens because of the variable. We will cover this like what is variable and how do we do the settings, where we have to go if we want to do temporary or the permanent setting. For that I will cover in my further lecture in more detail. Just you have to right now you have to understand what are the basic usage of these commands. Just right now understand that much. Okay, now let me write it there as well. If you want that your history will ignore the duplicate entries in output, for that you will run the command history control along with under the single inverted commas ignore dubs. Many times instead of ignore dubs there was erase dubs too. So both these are the same. You don't have to worry regarding it. Ignore dubs as well as the erase dubs, both are the same. Okay, both are used for ignoring the duplicate entries in output. Okay, so let's come to the terminal, and here we will run the same command which I have written on my interface. Now I'm running the same command. Okay, now let's check is the command is ignoring the duplicate entries or not. For that you need to execute the history command. Now as you can see, after setting the variable, the pwd command is only showing at once. So that's how we will ignore the duplicate entries in output. Okay, that's how we will run the command. Let me write. Now, my next question is that suppose you want your history command will not show the same command. Okay, again and again. You want that the specific command would be removed from your history. For that, you will use a white character which is known as space. You will before the command you will use a space, so that you will telling your like terminal, or you will doing the such kind of setting so that the specific command will not come into your history. So for that we will do the setting. We will run the command hist control equals to under single inverted comma. Now you have to write ignore space, because we want that the specific command would not come or would not include in our history list. Go to the terminal. Here first you need to unset the his control, as it is right now on ignore dubs mode. Now we are moving it to ignore space. Let's check it as well. What are his control variable setting? So right now it is blank as we have unset it. Now we will gonna run the command for ignoring space. Now let's run the command. Along with space. So as you can see, I have run 5 commands: pwd without space and along with ls command along with the space. So let's check is the command is working or not. Is it's showing the command along with the space or not? So let's run the history command. So as you can see, only pwd command is visible to us. The ls command is not visible to us, as because we want that the specific command would not come into the history list. That's how we will do so. For that we will use the setting ignore space. Now if I want to check what was my last previous command, so what kind of command or what kind of option I do use in history command. For that, suppose if I am running pwd command and then date command. Now I want to check what was my previous command. So for that we will use double exclamatory signs. Okay, this option we will use to check what was our previous executed command. So as you can see, it is showing that the date command we have used in previous. So there is another way to check what was our previously executed command. For that you need to use the option exclamatory along with hyphen and 1. So the same output you will get with the this option as well. Now if you want to delete a specific command, so for that what kind of command would you run? Basically, suppose if I am running these commands. Let's delete. First let's check history. So now I want that 30 numbered command would be deleted from my history list. So what kind of command would I run for that? For that we will gonna run the command history -d along with that specific number to delete that specific command. So now if I do so, history. Now as you can see, on the 30th number, the ls command is showing the mkdir India command has been removed from my history list. So that's how we will delete a specific command of the specific number. Suppose now if I want to delete my whole history, so for that what kind of command would I run? So for that I would run the command history -c. Okay, so that's how we will do so. Now if you do check, so as you can see, the history has been deleted and the first command, the first list of our history is only history, as we have run this last command. So that's how we will do so. Basically, if I talk about, let me write it there as well, to delete a specific command of the specific number, you need to run this command history -d along with the number, along with the specific number. Okay, and the last one is that if you want to delete whole history, for that you will just gonna use history -c. So I hope you got understand all the things, all the basic usage of history command, or what are the basic commands we use in history. So these are the basic just examples on history command. We will cover in more advanced in our further lectures and basically in part 2. So for that you need to stay connected and updated with Technical Cloud Knowledge and Shikha as well for more updates on Linux. And till then, keep learning and keep watching. Thank you.